this one. This video caught my eye. Nepo babies with failed music. First of all, what is a Nepo baby? A term probably used online referring to someone often in the entertainment industry whose career advancement is believed to be due to their parents' fame and influence rather than solely on their own merit. I know what it is. Let's get into it.
The term Nepo baby refers to someone whose career is similar or related to the career their parents succeeded in. So because their parents already had all sorts of connections, it made it much easier on their kid. The hardest part about breaking into the music industry and having a successful career is actually getting into the industry. Good music. So when you have access to these connections and still manage to fumble, there's got to be another underlying problem. That's why today we're going to be looking into Nepo babies with failed music careers, starting off with Chet Hanks. Real quick, I just want to shout out my boy Rashad.
Who the fuck is Chet Hanks or whatever his name is?
Fashir for the inspiration for this video. I thought his topic was cool, but I also wanted to cover a few different examples in my video. But make sure to check out his channel sometime. He's a dope YouTuber.
Okay.
Anyways, enough yapping in my video, but make sure to check out his channel sometime. He's a dope YouTuber.
Also, fricked up my lighting. Sorry if it looks weird.
Anyways, enough yapping. Let's continue with the video. Chet Hanks is the son of Tom Hanks, the actor. His roles such as Forrest Gump, Saving Private Ryan, Castaway, and more. Chet's mom is Rita Wilson, who is also a very successful actress and is known for her roles.
Who's the guy we're talking about? I saw one of the guys who looks like is it the bald dude right there? Because he was on the cover of the video, I'm pretty sure. So is it him? Is that who he's talking about? Because I don't know. If so, that's crazy. Being your father's Tom Hanks. I forgot who she is, but Tom Hanks alone, that's crazy.
And things like Jingle All the Way, Sleepless in Seattle, and Runaway Bride. Clearly, both of his parents are very successful in the entertainment industry. Over the course of his life, he tried his hand at acting. He was in his first film called Bratz back in 2007 and did a bunch of other smaller roles. One of his more interesting rapper named Blake on a show called which funnily become an actual real-life rapper. Chet dropped his first track in college under the alias Chet Hayes.
What's good? It's your boy Chet Hayes. I'm in the studio finishing up the mixtape Get Hayes.
Do you have a Lakers jersey that says artist on the back? I'm not gonna lie, that is kind of corny. That is kind of corny. I don't know why people do that. Take jerseys and put whatever they want on the back. I think that shit's hella stupid, bro. If you like the jersey specific player, bro, just wear that then. Like, I don't know why they're taking, like, a team's jersey and putting what they want on the back of it. It's just always seemed corny to me.
And it's like unanimous decision. It's absolute fire. So
It was a song called White and Purple. It was a remix of Wiz Khalifa's song Black and Yellow. Apparently white and purple were his school's colors, so clearly the song wasn't that serious and he was just having fun at this point. I listened to the lyrics and probably one of the strangest lyrics in this song was, "Got a call from the brothers in the frat house. I'm with my girl trying to get up under that blouse. She's a freshman, but she a freak though." That's kind of crazy. Regardless, around this time he released a bunch more.
That would be fucking crazy. If he was a senior at that time, that would be insane to say.
Music that is sort of tough to find. Like his track Another Chance that was hated on by so many people that even the news was clowning on him.
This is Chet Hayes coming at you in a daze. The song was produced by Swizz Beatz, but it seems even that's not enough to give the guy credibility.
Damn. Damn. They already hating on him. I don't know. I literally heard 2 seconds and I feel like it had potential. Let me hear it again. Is it really that bad?
This is Chet Hayes.
was clowning on him.
This is Chet Hayes in a day.
Like that little bit I heard, it had potential.
The song was produced by Swizz Beatz, but it seems even that's not enough to give the guy credibility. A third of YouTube viewers like bit the thumbs down, and one of the comments will really hurt. Yo, you should collab with Rebecca Black. Ouch.
At this point in his life, Chet Hanks was sort of the problem child or the ugly duckling of his family. As a teen, his parents had sent him to a troubled teens therapy program. Drug problem. So the reason why people had a problem with Chet Hanks, especially in his rap music, is because he would rap about having a hard life and act like he was tough and ask for. He was also posting pictures with guns, saying the N-word all the time, and just acting crazy.
Oh.
They did.
Anyway, so Tom Hanks' son, I'm watching this thing. I'm laughing my fucking ass off. Listen to this guy. You have to. Hanks must be so annoyed.
He was often referred to as the black sheep of his family. I mean, look at how his brother acted when asked about him in an interview.
Speaking of musicians, do you have a relationship with your brother at all? I know there's a big
of course.
age gap with
There's
Chet.
big age gap. Yeah, I mean, he is, obviously he's doing his own thing. He's he's very passionate about what he does, and
Very passionate about what he does. He is going around and saying the N-word and acting. He's just acting black. Like, he's trying to be ghetto, hood, whatever you want to call that. Like, he's trying to be gangster. I don't know why. Like, he's trying, like, so hard to have a persona. You're Tom Hanks' son. It is crazy to me, the fact that you have to, like, have this persona of, like, being a gangster or whatever. You're Tom Hanks' son, bro. Like you have nothing, like, I don't know, you just have, like, I feel like you have nothing going on. There is no reason for you to be acting like that. Like, you, how do I I want to say that he doesn't have a reason to be acting like this, but at the same time, they did say he had some issues as a kid, and then he indulged in drugs and stuff when he was a teen. So, I mean, like, yeah, he does have some issues there. But if, like, even that, that's got to be, like, he's playing, he's being, a character or a persona or something. Like, it's just not him. I feel like that's not him. I don't know him. But there's no way he actually acts like this and thinks like this regularly. Like, it has to be a persona or something. There's just no way. But, yo, he's Tom Hanks' son, bro. I know Tom Hanks has to be so disappointed in him. He's gotta be. As a father, oh, man, that's gotta hurt.
And he's got an incredible work ethic.
And it wasn't just rap songs that he made either. He also made pop songs too, but those weren't that great either. Mind you, this whole time, all with his music. The only time he really got attention is when people would be like, hey, did you know Tom Hanks has a son that's a rapper and he's saying the N-word all the time? At least that was. Most of Chet Hanks' music is lost and can only be found on YouTube or random websites. But after a few controversies, his career
muted. Shit, I hit my fucking mic and it muted. God damn.
Was the slightest bit more successful. He kicked off this past decade with a huge viral video where he was doing this Jamaican accent.
Oh my God. Big up. Coming straight from the Golden Globes, you want saying? Me father Tom Hanks presenting in a what soon forward come. Big up, tune in.
Dude, I would say this is hella corny, but this is what you would see as, like, a meme right here. Like, motherfuckers would deadass take this and just make a meme out of it. Like, it's like, it's kind of just funny. It's funny in, like, a broad spectrum. But, like, if you actually, like, know, like, who this is and, like, what he's done, it is corny. But on a, like, broad spectrum, dude, I just feel like he would just... Like, he would just be turned into a meme. Like, people would just deadass find this funny if they didn't know any context to it or nothing. I mean, it's still kind of funny with context. This is Tom Hanks' son. He's at the, what, Global Awards or something? Golden Globe Awards? With a Jamaican accent talking about, like, come see me or come see us at the Golden Globes or whatever. Dude, what the fuck? Like, this is just so random. What the fuck am I even watching anymore?
Then after this went viral, he posted a string of videos the next year advertising White Boy Summer.
Hey guys, look, I just wanted to tap in really quick. Feeling, man, that this summer, it's about to be a white boy summer. Take it how you want. I'm not talking about like Trump type white. I'm talking about, you know.
Yeah, this is corny. That would be great. I would appreciate that.
Me, John B, Jack Harlow type white boy summer. You know what I mean? Let me know if you guys.
That is crazy. This motherfucker just compared himself to Jack Harlow. This is insane right here. This is fucking wild. There is no way this motherfucker just compared himself to Jack Harlow. I don't believe it. He's got to be delusional. There's no way you're comparing yourself to Jack Harlow. Like, are we serious, bro? You have nowhere near as good as a career as that man. No offense. But you're comparing yourself to, like, probably, like, a white artist that literally got fame and, like, fanned on by, like, almost had, like, so many women for, like, no reason at all. And who actually does have some pretty good music. And got so popular. You're comparing yourself to Jack Harlow. Is absurd. It is insane. Nowhere near as close, bruh. Yo, nowhere near as close. Just pack it up and go home.
Guys can vibe with that and get ready.
These videos went so viral that he decided to release a single called White Boy Summer under his new alias, Chet Hanks with an X, in 2021. Believe it or not, this song actually did fairly well. He followed this track more that same year, but Chet was... After getting sober in 2020, Chet Hanks had stopped making music for a while, despite making it since like 2010. That was until 2025, when he got with artist Drew Arthur and created the band Something Out West. He pivoted away from rap and decided to start a country band. Maybe he's actually passionate about country, or maybe he's just doing this because like everyone's doing country now. Regardless, it's funny seeing him go from toting guns to riding Harleys within the span of like a decade. They've only released 2 singles so far, one of which had a music video that featured his dad referencing Forrest Gump. So while Chet's rap career may have failed, who knows? Maybe country suits him better and he'll see a bit more success in that genre. Regardless, Chet never really got too much attention on his actual music, whereas Jaden Smith actually saw a decent amount of...
Oh, yeah. You can't talk about a Nepo baby and forget Jaden Smith and rap careers. Oh my god. Please bring up that fit. That fit fucking sucked, bro. That fucking black, like, house fit that he had, like, that black house, like, mansion he had on his face. What the fuck was that, bro? Jaden Smith, I don't even know why Tyler Creator put Jaden Smith on that song. But it wasn't a bad song. Like, I liked the song. But I didn't even realize Jaden Smith was on it until, like, a year or two after listening to it.
Success before he decided to take an indefinite break. Jaden Smith is the son of Will Smith, an extremely successful actor, rapper, and producer. He was actually the first rapper to ever win a Grammy. He's also acted...
There's no way. He won a Grammy with Getting Jiggy with It? No. Really? I didn't know that. He won a Grammy? And he's the first to win a Grammy? Oh, is this when he was bashing Eminem? You know what? It makes sense. I understand why Will Smith bashed Eminem on that stage, because if he was the first to get a Grammy and he didn't cuss in his raps, that does make sense. That does make sense. Okay, yeah.
In things like Men in Black, Fresh Prince, Bad Boys, and many more. So his son was primed to have a great music career. But nowadays, the only time Jaden Smith really seems to get attention is when he does dumb things, like wearing a castle on his head at the Grammys.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Matty Ball. Thank you, bro, for bringing that horrible fit up. I, like, literally, that's how he's relevant still. He was not relevant until he went with that horrible fucking fit.
Believe it or not, though, Jaden actually used to have a decent music career for a little bit until things went south. It all started with his acting career back in 2006 in the pursuit of happiness with his dad when he was just 8. He also did the movie Karate Kid, which of course was a huge success. I'm sure most of you guys have seen it. But pretty early into his acting career, he also began working on music. First, he featured on Never Say Never by Justin Bieber for the Karate Kid soundtrack. Then in 2012, he released a mixtape called The Cool Cafe. He followed up 2 years later with another mixtape. However, none of these mixtapes really saw any success. But then he started working on his debut studio album, Sire. For this album, he put out singles like Fallen, Batman, and Watch Me, which were released in late 2016 and early 2017. And when he finally released the album, he actually saw quite a bit of success. The album was released on November 17th of 2017, and it debuted at 24 on the Billboard 200.
And it's certified gold. That's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good. That's not bad.
He also released the track Icon off that album, which went crazy. He continued releasing albums like Iris, which had big songs like Summertime in Paris. This era of Jaden Smith was actually like pretty good in my opinion. I enjoyed some of these songs, and there was definitely some sort of musical talent. But Jaden had a problem, and it was that a lot of fans found him corny. For example, if you look at his Twitter back when he was younger in like 2015, he was posting a ton of corny.
Yeah, dude. No pain, no gain. Young Kurt Cobain. Oh. Wow. Okay. Dear everybody who can rap better than me, please show me. Okay, yeah. Oh my god, dude. Do I want to read this last one? Yeah, why not? Once all 100% is neglected, you have a citizen, a walking zombie who criticizes everything they see. Have fun. It's a really awesome place. I don't even know what he's saying there. It doesn't matter, bro. Those last two, fucking corny, bro. So corny.
Tweets like this one where he claimed that if he were white
and not Will Smith's silly son, I would be the most respected philosopher. I can't ever say that word. Philosopher? Fuck, whatever. Of our and all time. Yo, what got to his head to make him think that he's that good, bro? You are not that good. You are not good. Like, what do you mean if you were white, dude? If you were white, you would get hated even more. You're a white... You would have been a white, corny rapper with no background. Nobody would have liked you, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Rap community doesn't like white rappers. They really don't. Eminem is like one of the only ones that is fine. Like, he's good. Like, he's literally so good at what he does that they don't even care if Eminem's white, dude. They don't. Not anymore. But like, everybody else who came after Eminem got hated on. Hated on for being white. I swear. Is there a white rapper out there that I don't know that's actually really good that everyone respects other than Eminem? Let me know. Let me know, because I don't know one.
And not Will Smith's son, he would be the most respected philosopher of all.
And Logic is not respected, dude. He's making a comeback, but he's still not respected. People still hate his music. or hate him as a person.
All time. Or this one where he says, if everybody in the world dropped out of school, we would have a much more intelligent society.
Dude, I already see Tyler Creator at the bottom. I was gonna say, like, that's the most retarded or stupidest shit I've ever heard in my entire life. Okay. I know Tyler Creator is literally gonna agree with me here.
To which Tyler the Creator even responded, making fun of him. And said, you actually kind of sound like an idiot. But to be fair, he was a kid, and we all grow out of that phase. Right? Well, it took Jaden Smith a while to. I mean, even just coming out of the gate and calling yourself an icon on your first studio album is very bold and had a lot of people making fun of him.
We are doing things on an iconic level, so it's very important to be like, yeah, I'm, however old I am, and Willow's extremely young as well.
Did he just not remember how old he is? Is he not aware of how old he is?
Everybody's just picking up a mic and some auto-tune and making a song, and they're coming out good.
People are touching microphones, and it's coming out good.
Despite the numbers his first couple of albums did, despite him getting a decent-sized core fan...
I mean, music ain't for everyone. Or, it just takes time for you to get it, and you just gotta keep working through it, bro. You can't just have a shortcut to it. There's no shortcuts, bro. There's literally no shortcuts. What the fuck?
Fan base from this success, the general music community just viewed him as a corny rich kid who is trying too hard to make impactful music.
And yeah, Jaden's lyrics can get pretty corny, like that one line about people switching and how he's not playing Nintendo.
Sit at home, reading Vogue with a centerfold. Love is simple, it's all good to the crescendo. So they wake up and switch, we ain't playing Nintendo. Okay. That's why when the sun sets, I just stare at the window. Okay? I don't even know what we're fucking talking about, bro. And obviously, the only bar that makes sense is the corny one. And it's the only one highlighted from Genius. It's the only one. Oh, what could he possibly mean? They switch up on you. Eventually, people switch on you. And he's referring to Nintendo like the Nintendo Switch. Like, dude, are we fucking serious? There's no need to highlight that, bro. It is so obvious what he's saying. And it's bad. It's bad. Sit at home reading Vogue with a centerfold. Love is simple. It's all gone to the crescendo. Till they wake up and switch. We ain't playing Nintendo. That's why when the sun sets, it just stare at the window. I don't understand what he means by this. Centerfold, crescendo, Nintendo, window. It all, like, the window bar, it makes sense. It's corny, but it makes sense. The other three, I don't know what he's talking about. I gotta guess with the, when the sun sets, I stare at the window. But the first two, I have no clue what he could possibly be talking about.
Jesus Christ. It's not as bad as the washing dirty dishes lines off of Sire, but still, not all that great. And once more, Jaden seems convinced he's making music that's deeper than it actually is. But I digress. My main issue with this record is, why would I want to spend an hour listening to some dude who bought his way into the rap game pretend to be Travis Scott for like a dozen or so tracks? I can't imagine a bigger waste of time.
And it wasn't just the music that was corny to the audience. Jaden himself just acted like he was better and smarter than everybody in interviews, like this infamous clip.
On age. And I look and I go around.
Oh my god. Oh my god, can we just stop here? Please don't play this clip, bro. I hate this clip so much. It became a meme. It was funny when it was a meme. But it's been corny since the jump. It's been corny since he made it. It's been bad since it happened. And then people brought it and made memes out of it like a year ago. Which was fine. But it also kind of brought back like really how corny it was. And it bothered me so much. It really did. I can't stand it, bro. I can't stand it. Jaden Smith, just retire.
Sometimes and I hang out with other people that are my age and they're just on a
Yeah.
my phone selfie. I'm just like, dude, like, oh my god, like, can we talk about like the political and economic state of the world?
Oh shit. He's not even 30 yet! What the fuck are we doing? Wait, he's actually not even 30 yet. That is fucking crazy. He's 26. Holy shit. I didn't even... That is fucking wild, chat. I didn't even... I thought he would actually be way fucking older. Wow. I was gonna be like if he was like 30, I would be like grown-ass man. I would've made fun of him, but he's really not, like... He's a lot younger than I thought he would be.
Right now.
I never noticed Big Boy's crazy reaction to that statement. Regardless, this clip definitely changed a lot of people's opinions on Jaden, and many more music fans began to view him as a corny rich kid. There's even a whole Key and Peele skit making fun of him.
Just want to.
I remember this skit. This was funny as fuck.
Make sure my next project reflects that I'm a down-to-earth, normal kid. Am I making any sense?
Despite all of that, Jaden continued releasing music and put out another album called The Cool Tape Volume 3, which did alright, but nothing like how his first project, Sire, did. He also featured alongside the Black Eyed Peas on a song for the Bad Boys for Life soundtrack, which actually was very successful, but it was also a movie his dad was starring in, so I'm not sure how much that counts. He took a break for a few years apart from a couple singles.
Yeah, I don't think it really matters when your dad is in the movie and he's like considered one of the best actors of all time, even if he slapped Chris Rock.
Remixes and things along those lines. And even though he wasn't releasing music, he was still able to find his way into some controversy. This is because he got caught cheating on his ex-girlfriend Saab Zeta. And he wasn't even clowned on because cheating's a bad thing, which it is, but
I remember this. He got clowned on because she was bad as fuck. He got clowned on. I mean, she is bad as fuck, and you're gonna cheat? Yo, you will probably never get someone like her ever again, Brody.
But people on the internet were just saying that it was a downgrade and that he fumbled her. Throughout his entire career, Jaden Smith has been made fun of for being the rich Nepo baby.
They're not wrong. Unless she has a terrible personality and she's just a bad person, there is no fucking way. He's got to be stupid. She's so bad, bro. What?
Who tried to buy his way into the music industry, and clearly based on how his last EP did, it didn't work out too well. The vibe of someone who wants to be a teacher without ever being a student. I do genuinely.
Honestly, that makes sense. It's like a perfect description, actually. Holy. I didn't realize. Wait, yeah, that's so true.
Genuinely think that Jaden set out with every intent to make good music, and I still do genuinely believe he has some good songs. It just seems like his
yeah. I also feel like he has potential to make good music, but he's lost, I'm not gonna lie.
And his weird, like, holier-than-thou personality got in the way of his actual musical career. Let me put you guys on, though. There's this song called Lonely with Post Malone and Jaden Smith. It's so good. It's a deep cut. If you haven't heard it, you'll actually like it. It's a good Jaden. And well, Will Smith is...
I probably will not, but I thank you the recommendation.
An extremely successful person. It pales in comparison to Michael Jackson, the king of pop, whose daughter...
Oh, I was going to say, he has a son? He has a daughter. Bro, how did I not know about this? Well, this is about, like, music career fails. Okay, so, yeah, that's probably why.
Also attempted a music career. Paris Jackson is the daughter...
Huh. So when Michael Jackson became white, did it also change his DNA? There's no way that bitch is pure white. Are we serious? Not even light skin? What the fuck are we even talking about? What the... Yo. Is the mother, like, extremely white? There's no way. That's not who I thought. If I saw this bitch in person, if she said, I'm Michael Jackson's daughter. No. No. There's no way. There's not a shot in history. In history? What am I...
Of Michael Jackson, who I don't think needs any introduction. Michael Jackson is the king of pop, one of the best singers, writers, dancers.
He's the GOAT. We get it.
And overall musicians of all time. He's definitely one of the most successful musicians of all time too. So you'd think when his daughter started making music, it'd be viral. But that has not been the case. Paris Jackson has dabbled in a handful of things throughout her career, whether it be acting, modeling, or anything else in that realm. However, one thing that you might have noticed is that you probably haven't heard much of her, and that's because she likes to keep herself, which didn't really help when she tried to get into music. She first started a musical duo with her ex-boyfriend. Their group was called the Soundflowers. They released an EP in 2020, and that was it. However, it seems like that sparked her interest in an actual music career, because later that year she signed a record deal with Republic Records and released her debut single called Let Down.
You know, it's certainly a daunting legacy, but with the support of her brother, Paris Jackson is forging her own musical.
So she does have a son. I mean, what am I talking about? Michael Jackson does have a son. Just said her brother. Okay.
Path with her guitar, her voice, and some deeply personal songs that have helped.
I knew he had a son. I was like, I thought we would be talking about the son, because I've heard about his son before. I didn't know he had a daughter.
Her cope.
It wasn't until the last couple years where I started calling myself a musician and embracing that, you know, the feeling that I think I was born to do this.
She followed this up with her debut studio album.
Michael Jackson was born to do that shit. I don't know about you though, sweetie. Come on now.
Called Wilted. Over the years, she worked on a few more singles, EPs.
Please don't tell me she makes depressing emo shit. Oh, but it's... The music video is like 1800s romance. Oh, this may not be what I... This may not be good music, gang. Oh, wait. Is the title Nepo Babies with failed music careers? Ah, no wonder.
And also featured on a few other artist songs as well. Her music was a lot different than her dad's, as hers was more folky and acoustic guitar focused. But for some reason, despite being Michael Jackson's kid, her music never really got that much attention, when the label just hadn't really been marketing her at all. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I had no idea that Michael Jackson had putting out music. You would think this would be a big deal, seeing as maybe.
Right, that's weird because I've never heard of her either, but I know of his son.
Paris is just trying to keep her music career low key, and I don't put her on this list as hate either because her music isn't bad. Plus, failure is a metric only the artist can measure how they see fit. I mean,
Actually, it shouldn't be a metric that the artist sees fit, because a lot of artists will not admit that they failed their music career and that they fell off. They will never admit that. So...
She did say she bases her success off of how she is feeling. She also said, I'm not working with her for money. We don't need that. We just both love creating art. And she definitely doesn't need the money, as she said she gets $8 million every year. So
what? How does she get $8 billion every year? Did I miss something? What?
So she's doing just fine. Paris also said that she doesn't really consider herself a singer and that she thinks she's more of a songwriter. So clearly in her music career.
Oh my god, I thought they said billion. I'm like, yo, there's no way. 8 million. That's probably from like wills, right? Or like from estates Michael Jackson left over. Or she's getting a part of the income that you would get from sales of Michael Jackson's music. Along with probably his son, too. His son probably gets that also. Or around that.
career is just one big passion project for her, although I am surprised that her label has not really tried marketing her too much. And anyways, Paris...
Who fucked Michael Jackson? Debbie Bowie? Ex-wife. Oh. 2 children. Okay. Oh, that's Paris Jackson. Okay, I'm like, yo. Has she always looked like that? No way. That's like before and after.
Paris hasn't released a solo song since 2023, so maybe she's decided that releasing music isn't really for her. And while Paris Jackson has kept her life pretty low-key, the same cannot be said for Diggy Simmons. Diggy Simmons is the son of Reverend Run, who is a rapper, producer, and DJ, but is especially known as one of the founding members of Run DMC. If you don't know Run DMC, they're a super popular old school hip hop group who paved the way for plenty of artists. Diggy's first major public appearances were back in the early 2000s on his father's popular reality TV show, Run's House.
One suit.
Does not fit.
Hampton suit.
Does not fit.
You got more suits than James Bond. It is ridiculous how much stuff you got.
Just one last thing.
What?
Do I have to
I don't know either one of these guys, by the way. I have no idea who they are.
hang all that back up?
The show ran for
I've never seen this show either.
4 years and had 6 seasons, throughout which Diggy would soft launch his music career with lots of episodes displaying his interest in making music. In 2009, as the reality show was coming to an end, Diggy at age 14 released his first mixtape titled The First Flight, which actually did pretty decent, receiving over 100,000 downloads. Around this time in 2010, Diggy also dropped a freestyle over Nas's song Made You Look, which went pretty viral. And in combination with his mixtape, this caused the start of a bidding war for the promising young artist. Because of all of his options, Diggy decided to go with Atlantic Records, which is pretty impressive at the age of 14. But it was still yet to be seen if this was purely nepotism.
But they had a bidding war on how a 14-year-old's career is gonna go? Are we serious?
Well, his name and especially his platform, it also created major expectations and an even bigger amount of pressure. Clearly, Diggy was aware of this though, as he released it was titled Great Expectations, featured in an AT&T commercial.
Really? Shout out to him, man. He did good. He didn't like do bad starting out. I'm surprised. Normally when you talk about failed music careers, they don't even like start.
Come on, son. You never...
AT&T. Rethink possible. Now I'm rethinking if that's actually impressive or not, but that's what I wrote. But after his initial success, similar to Jaden Smith, the internet began to turn on Diggy for not only being a potential Nepo, but also for being sort of corny. People were mostly calling him corny for dissing J. Cole in a few songs back.
How are you gonna diss probably one of the greatest lyricists we've had in like decades? What age? 17? You're gonna diss the GOAT at 17? Like, you could do better? Come on now. Of course it's gonna backfire.
After Cole allegedly got with off.
Oh, never mind. You had the right. You're standing your ground. Props to you, bro. You stand your ground. My fault, dude. I didn't know that. That was crazy.
No,
Who do you believe, J.
First
Cole?
of all, I'm happy that J. Cole's here after
you,
the
man.
damage that Diggy Simmons did to his career.
J. Cole went to the Breakfast Club? What? What? No way. No. The 2013 interview? 2013? No, they've been doing this shit forever. I didn't know the Breakfast Club is that, like, popular. They've been doing this shit forever. They've been doing it since before 2013. God damn. Well, that shit is hella, like, this happened in 2013? Ugh. I don't. Okay.
I survived. You know, I survived the Diggy storm. J. Cole killer Diggy Simmons. He put something on you, man.
Yeah.
You never wanted to respond to that. What happened?
Why would I respond to that?
Diggy?
Exactly. You see how you just said
J.
it?
Cole killer? What?
See how you just said it?
Trust me, always trying to cause problems.
Diggy?
He was like, not even sure about it.
You don't think Diggy was a formidable opponent?
Nah, I mean, Diggy's like, I respect Diggy for even doing that. You know what I mean? It's like 2 diss songs in the cans. Like,
was your circle getting at you like, oh, come on, Jay? You gotta
nah,
do
it was just kind of just really embarrassing. You know what I mean? Like, nobody really wanted to talk. It was like, oh man, like
that would make me mad too, though. So I can't really. Obviously, situation, one of the most embarrassingly one-sided. Critics also pointed out how Diggy Simmons was appearing to try and copy the Drake format, which wasn't received well. However, the hate really started to pile on when Diggy was selected to be part of the 2011 XXL freshman class, which also ironically included. And as you can imagine, fans
Diggy was there?
like Kendrick, the 2011 XXL. However, the hate really. Simmons was appearing to try and copy the Drake format, which wasn't received well. However, the hate really started to pile on when Diggy was selected to be part of the 2011 XXL freshman class, which also ironically included.
I don't believe Diggy was there with Kendrick Lamar, Mac Miller, Wiz Khalifa. Oh my god, that's Diggy in the back. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I see why J. Cole declined this. This makes sense now. Bro, what? I didn't know that. Huh. It makes sense why J. Cole declined. I was so confused. I heard J. Cole had the opportunity to go on this and he declined, and I never knew why. Now I do. Holy shit. This is a shock to me. I did not know this.
And as you can imagine, fans did not think that Diggy there with. In that same year, Diggy also joined Lupe Fiasco. About a year later, Diggy released his debut album, Unexpected Arrival, which was critically received well, and the project even included some songs which got radio play. The album peaked at number 11 on the Billboard 200
That's really
chart,
good.
which is
11? Yo, it's so good. Really good for an artist.
was also pretty impressive.
To
So
do.
you're probably Diggy Simmons failed. Well, that's because for the next 6 years, singles until he released his next album, Lighten Up. He had was completely killed. This album was also released by Empire and Atlantic Records and pretty hard, which can't be too surprising after giving little to no attention towards music for as long as Diggy did. And after this, Diggy talked about how he thought he was overthinking music and that a break was needed, but he must still be on a break because after that album, we got no more music. This could be a further part of Diggy's early career struggles, connected to the added pressure that comes with his name, which he detailed saying, "Well, when I was way younger, I just kind of got this attitude, where I just wanted to be an individual. I didn't want anybody to attach me to my family. So I strayed from it and decided I wasn't going to rap because, you know, that's like what my family's known for." Diggy also spoke a couple of times on how perfectionism and OCD have made it difficult to work on and release new projects.
I have OCD actually. Just
That's
like
obsessive compulsive.
Exactly, just like overthinking every little thing, and that was like my issue, caring too much about what people think, or, you know, putting too much thought into everything. No, man, you know what it was? Too much, like, just overthinking the process and kind of just getting in my own way, you know what I'm saying, and not focusing on myself and focusing on like all of their outside distractions and just being too hard on myself.
So while Diggy wasn't really spending much time making music,
sucks,
he
but it
did
does
put a lot of
happen.
attention towards acting, especially after he landed a role on Grownish. Diggy also spent some time modeling for brands like Dolce & Gabbana. So while his career in music appears to have failed, at least Diggy was able to figure things out in another industry. But that hasn't been the case for son of the legendary singer Paul McCartney, James. James McCartney is the son of Paul McCartney, who played bass, piano, shared lead vocals, and was a primary songwriter for The Beatles. If you guys don't know The Beatles, you're tripping because they are one of the biggest bands of all time. James' mother, Linda McCartney, was a photographer but also involved in music, most notably after Paul left The Beatles, and started a band with her and some others called Wings. For the first few years of James' life, he lived on the road with his parents as they toured with Wings. But after Wings split up, the McCartneys settled down and James chose to continue his education. However, living in a musical family led to James learning to play guitar at 9. And when he was old enough, at around 16 years old, he toured worldwide with his mother, father, and sisters. However, when James was 21, his mother tragically died of breast cancer, which was a major hit to the family. But James pushed on, and later that year graduated from art school. And after this, in the following years, James collaborated on a bunch of projects with his father, as well as his mother's posthumously released solo album. But around this time, James wasn't putting all of his energy into music at this point, as in the early 2000s he moved away from home and worked as a waiter while continuing his education further. However, in 2008, with the help of his father and other musicians he was connected to, James started working on his own music. Then in 2010, he released his first EP, which featured 4 original songs and a cover of Neil Young's Old Man. The project was met with positive reactions, and the next year he dropped his second EP, Close at Hand, which was received similarly. Eventually, in 2013, James released his first...
So he's been doing okay. It's not great, it's not bad, just okay.
First album, Me. Then in 2016, his next, The Blackberry Train. But after this would come nothing for almost 8 years. That was until 2024 when he dropped multiple singles. One with his dad's former bandmate's son, Sean Lennon, and eventually his third studio album. So it's kind of interesting that Paul McCartney and John Lennon's sons both dropped a collab song. But while James had created a fair amount of music with just as fair reception, his career felt really stuck in the shadow of his father's. After performing at Coachella for the first time before releasing his first album, James was asked, "Do you feel like you're continuing a tradition, or is it something separate?" James said, "I think it's a bit of both." That's very well put. Mainly it's a tradition, but it's a part of my dharma, which basically is a religious term for meaning of life. He continued, "It's a tradition, but it's also me doing my own thing. It's part of what I do, what I enjoy. Picking up a guitar, I couldn't imagine doing anything else, but I paint and draw and do all that stuff, which is fun. I'm more interested in photography at the moment, capturing that image." And it's this statement which makes fans wonder if his technically failed music career is by choice, since when he was actually putting out music, although it wasn't super successful, it was well received. In the interview, James also expands on his mother's influence in his interest in photography.
So I mean, overall, he's done pretty good.
Then when asked about his reasons behind starting music relatively later in life and not pursuing it as passionately as some expected, James said, "Different reasons. My mom's death was a big part of it, just grieving. I was heavily into Nirvana and still am. But when I was 23, I got disillusioned by music. Then I just focused more on myself and gave up music for a while. It was definitely inside of me. I was writing songs, I was doing artwork." During James's 8-year hiatus, some fans on Reddit provided a different angle of things which painted a burnt out picture of James. Someone posted the question, "What happened to James McCartney? Not really a big fan, but he hasn't updated his website or social media in years. Maybe he's thrown in the towel?" A commenter replied, "I'm not sure he had a towel to throw. Kind of a sad figure. He was in Seattle a few years ago to do a show, and a good friend of mine interviewed him for local media. It was horrible. James simply had no presence, no energy. Both the interviewer and the engineer told me it was the most cringy experience of their careers. The show itself was pretty lame as well. He didn't seem to want to be there. Lifeless is the best word for it. However, it does seem like some of this lacking of energy..."
Damn, that sucks, bro. You just don't got it in you no more, you know? You just don't got like the passion no more.
Could be the result of some mental health struggles dating back to his mother's passing, as since the release of his new album in 2024, James seems to be pretty happy with where he's at, even if his music isn't received on a scale as large as his father's. So while Paris Jackson's career may not have worked out because she didn't want it to, it seems like James is in a similar spot, whereas Diggy and Jaden were just kind of corny, and Chet was Chet. James has released some content, especially in regards to his album, so it does seem like he is the slightest bit invested still.
Hi all, James here. Collection of songs will be coming out October 18th. Some you have heard, some maybe not.
If you guys like this video, let me know down below in the comments if you want a part 2. Definitely more people I could have included, but I just wanted to look at some of these interesting examples in my opinion. And if you like this video, you might like my video about industry plants in the music industry, especially some of the newer ones that have been coming out lately, as they're sort of...
Yeah, I feel that, yeah. Well, great video. I'll see y'all next time on YouTube. Peace.